What's up, gamers? Long time no see. We're playing some more Higurashi today. Where we last left off, Shion is going insane. She has murdered someone, albeit accidentally, and she also has kidnapped quite a few people. So, you know, she's in it. She's in it. She's deep in it. So, you know, that's fun. That's fun. We'll see what horrible hijinks will come up. Oh my gosh.
Quarter of the way to 100.
Thank you for the resubby. Oh my gosh. Has it already been that long already? Jesus. That's insane. That's so crazy. Feels like it was just heckin' yesterday where I started streaming 2.5 years ago. Absolutely insane. Heck. But yeah, we're going to this. We already did the tips, as we always do. The sad music. What is she sad about? I can't remember. She doesn't deserve to be sad about anything. After what she's done. After what she's done. Right, she's acting as Mion right now. That's what's happening. She's acting as Mion. Yeah, I wonder what war crimes Shion will do today. Probably some more kidnappings. Probably. Right. Alright. What? Who's saying what? Rena? What? Mi-chan, you didn't get much sleep either, did you? Did you? Yeah. I went to bed at like 3. I'm a little tired. Yeah, she did go to bed that late because, you know, what she's been up to. So 3? Hey now, you can't keep staying up that late. You probably read the first volume of a manga, thought it was interesting, and then read the entire series, didn't you? Right? Oh, hydrate. Thank you. I actually have water. Ah, thank you. Relatable. I know. I used to do the same thing. I don't really do that much anymore, but I used to. I understand. I've done that before. Keiji, saying what we're all thinking, huh? What? Wait, is it about the mayor? He still hasn't been found? Nope. Went to the Furude Shrine to join the youth group in their search for the mayor. Because I knew there was no way he could be found. It was really boring for me. Well, just enduring sleepiness wasn't that bad. Not if you considered what Kimiyoshi had to go through since last night. He'd been hanging from the ceiling and couldn't even fall asleep or sit down, since he had to stay on tiptoes the whole time. Dude, he's gonna be exhausted and just die from, like, being tired and just letting go. Yay, wholesome school vibes, right? Teacher explained to us that the mayor had gone missing and asked us if we knew anything. A couple of people said some things, but they were irrelevant. But they were irrelevant. Yeah. To me, this issue meant nothing. But it was all my classmates were talking about. I observed Keiichi Maebara. I observed him. Right, that's what she's doing. She has to keep an eye on him to make sure nothing horrible happens to him. I had no idea if any type of danger was drawing closer to him. Maybe I'd call him again tonight, pretending to be Shion. I told him some outrageous stuff last night, so he panicked. But I was sure he'd calm down after a day. At that time, I heard a little girl's laughter. It was Rika Furude, the last survivor of the Furude family and their current head. However, she wasn't really treated as one. During the family council, she'd often draw pictures or take a nap in the hag's bed. She wasn't even invited to last night's meeting. It was hard to believe such a little girl was responsible for a part of the curse system. However, even though she wasn't in a respected position as the head of the Furude family, there were plenty of old people who worshipped her as the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. I heard from someone that Rika Furude was rather odd, seemed to behave as if she knew she was that reincarnation. Maybe Takano-san told me that at the library when she was alive. When Rika Furude became worried about something, the elderly people who worshipped her would make arrangements. It was very similar to the Sonzaki family, and it was also the same system as used for the curse. Well, I wonder, does Rika Furude know anything about the deaths of Takano-san and Tomitake-san? What does she think of the people sneaking to the ritual storehouse? You know, she probably has some thoughts about it. The whole, when chapter 2 with the whole cat thing that she said. Oh, if the cat did that, then the cat should get some help, you know? What she said last time. That was fun. Does she know who snuck in and what happened to those people? As the one managing the storehouse, it was possible that she noticed the intruders first. In fact, she was the only one who could have noticed it. She must have passed on that information, which is why the curse was executed. That foolish Keiichi turned the light on when we went into the ritual storehouse. That light switch could have been connected to some kind of alarm. Rika Furude, the leader of the Furude family. Maybe getting to know her would be a good idea. She's baby. Surely she doesn't know. Surely. As leader of the Furude family, how much do you know about the incident? I asked her rather directly. It's hard to tell if she understood I was asking her in place of the Sonozaki family head, instead of as Mion Sonozaki. Are you talking about Tomitaki and Takano? Rika answered. News hadn't been made public, yet she knew about it. Although she looked immature, perhaps she truly was the head of the Furude family. That curse of Yashiro-sama? I already know that. Wait, who's talking? That's the curse of Yashiro-sama. I already know that. But it's not over yet, is it? Should still be 2 more. Have you heard about what will happen to them? Try to be vague to see how Rika Furude would react. I had been thinking she had nothing to do with the underside of Hinamisawa, since she was always treated like a child. However, Rika had just said things about the incident which normal people shouldn't know anything about. That proved she belonged to the underside's network. I don't think that matters anymore. She answered the question about Tomitaki-san and Takano-san fairly quickly, but it took a little longer to answer this time. She have to think about it? Shit. Look on her face never changes. It's impossible to figure out what she's thinking. What do you mean? How can they get away with what they've done? I think if they feel bad about what they've done, that should be fine. Her response was unexpected, especially after seeing all the old people get so furious last night. To trespass in the ritual storehouse was blasphemy against Oyashiro-sama. The village elders had said those intruders deserved to die. Yet the leader of the Furude family, who protected the sacred storehouse for ritual implements, said that if they felt remorse for it, then that was fine. I recalled how people thought about Rika Furude's father during the dam conflict. Yes, father was called an opportunist back then. He didn't agree with the Onigabachi guardians, who had resisted violently during the conflict. Like father, like daughter. I aggressively grabbed Rika Furude by the collar. What? Shion. Shion, is this necessary? Huh? Huh? What the heck are you talking about? You're pretty stupid, just like your predecessor, aren't you? Oh my god. Shion. Shion. Oh my god. Okay. Furude family must understand better than anybody how sacred the ritual storehouse is. How could the head of that family say such a thing? I laughed at myself. I was told the same thing by somebody else and was now saying it to Rika. Don't you know how serious a crime trespassing in the ritual storehouse is? It's a very important place for Yashiro-sama, so nobody can go in without permission. See, you know that, but those 4 people brought their filth in there. What bad kitty cats. Meow. Rika does not care what Shion is saying at all. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Shion is on 2 out of 2 children abused. No! That's so sad. I can't believe she would grab her by the collar like that. That's messed up. That's right. Bad cats. 2 cats have been caught and punished. There are 2 more. Meow. How do you think they should be punished? Tell me your opinion, as head of the Furude family. Rika really didn't usually wear any expression whatsoever, making it impossible to tell what she was thinking. While I grabbed her by the collar and stared at her, I could tell somehow. Rika was a little disturbed. I sensed she was trying to see what I was thinking in return. I want to forgive.
those two kitty cats.
Why should they get away with what they've done?
Me, what are you trying to say?
It's a good question, so let me explain. Those two must offer compensation for what they've done. They have to clear away their sins. Otherwise, Oyashiro-sama won't stop being angry. Every crime must be punished appropriately. Do you understand?
Well, Yashiro-sama doesn't get angry even if someone enters the storehouse.
Huh? What are you saying?
Huh?
The reason why nobody's allowed to see the ritual storehouse is because there are too many scary tools in there. I'm sure people would get scared if they saw them. That's why we don't let people in there. I'm sure those intruders were scared too. And I'm sure they feel bad about what they've done.
They're forgiven once they feel bad about what they've done? Isn't Shion just making her more likely to punish her and Keiichi by doing this? I think she's trying to find justification for what she's doing, you know? She's trying to make herself feel justified in being horrible to Rika and horrible to everyone else by saying they think that they should die, so they deserve to get abused in return, you know? She's like fishing for information and for what she wants to hear, basically. But, you know, this isn't going very well for her. Because, Rika cares. Rika is not like everyone else. That's not for you to decide. That's what Oyashiro-sama decides.
I'm the shrine maiden of Oyashiro-sama, don't you know?
Of course I do. You aren't telling me that Oyashiro-sama told you he isn't angry, are you? Rika nodded yes without hesitation. Can't believe the lie she's coming up with. Oh my gosh, and she believes she's lying. Because she just can't comprehend that Rika, being a part of the system, wouldn't want them to die. I'm not surprised. I'm shocked. Huh? That's why your parents died of the curse 2 years ago. But Yashiro-san was angry because they didn't deserve to serve him. That's why he cursed your father.
Oh, Yashiro-sama would never do that. My father didn't die because of the curse of Yashiro-sama.
Bah! Am I really talking to the last shrine maiden of the Furude family? Obviously, Oyashiro-sama can't be at peace. We're supposed to worship Oyashiro-sama. How pathetic.
I don't know why you're so angry, me.
I realized. She was in a position to know as much as the other two family heads. As proof, she talked about this year's incident as though it was nothing. Yet she could feign ignorance with a serious face. She sure is something. She's even better than me. No! Oh my god! Shion! 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 What? No. Oh my god. I slapped her a few times and pushed her to the floor. Death penalty. You know, I might actually agree with you now. Like, death penalty. Shion should not walk away with this unscathed. You know? Oh my god. What? Rika! Rika, having tumbled downward, looked up at me with tears in her eyes. Oh, no. This all happened because you wanted to change the storehouse's lock to something that was easier for you, right?
That's true. The old one was too heavy, so I talked to Kimiyoshi and he changed it to a cheaper, lighter one.
If you left the heavy lock on, maybe that would have prevented them from trespassing. This is your fault, too. Don't you forget that. Of course, the Kimiyoshi family, who actually changed the lock, is responsible for this, too. That last part was something I added on a whim. I added it to connect Rika's story to the disappearance of Kimiyoshi. I wanted to pressure her psychologically by doing so. The head of Kimiyoshi family had to pay for his crime. That's why he disappeared. The head of the Furude family has to pay for her crime too, you know? Rika was still on the floor, tears pouring down her cheeks. Keiichi Maebara is the last one left. Suppose the Furude family will take care of him.
I don't know anything.
You don't need to know anything, do you? We just have to look worried. That's all it takes. That's how it is at our house, too. Anyway, good luck.
I don't...
Rika hung her head. She seemed to want to say something, but she was afraid I might be rough with her again. I doubted Rikafurude was actually at the top of the curse system like the hag was. However, as one of the 3 family heads, she was a lot closer to the underside of Hinamizawa than I was. By now, the underside was well aware of Keiichi Maebara. I told the elderly leaders of the village yesterday in the meeting that Keiichi Maebara was the last one remaining. I just told the head of the Furude family the same thing, if threateningly. My threat was effective. The curse of Yashiro-sama should very soon fall upon Keiichi Maebara. And at just the right time, I would grab my enemy right as he took my bait. If the assassin came from the Furude family, Score would have committed the same sin as the hag. When that time came, I wouldn't hold back. I was going to make sure she suffered, and then kill her. Yikes. Yikes, okay. For the torture technique where you pound dozens of nails into a victim's fingers. I already found a restraining table and the tools for it. Wait, isn't that what she did to Keiichi? In chapter 2? Okay. When the time comes, I'll pound nails into your fingers. That gruesome anticipation radiated from my eyes and scared Rika even further. Yeah, that happened. What? We'll find out. We'll find out how this happened. Or why she did it to Keiichi. Maybe it's a thing of, like, Keiichi replaced him, basically? Keiichi replaced Satoshi? Wonder what Kimiyoshi's doing. I doubt he died from tiptoeing all night, but sometimes a human can go very easily. He already told me everything I wanted to hear, so he doesn't know anything else anyway. Top of that, he was responsible for spreading the infection that was the curse system of Oyashiro-sama. I'm not sure if it's actually Mion or just Shion acting like Mion. Yeah, I think it's Shion acting like Mion, and then doing that. I don't know. Sins are very heavy. I really liked Uncle Kimiyoshi. He'd always been kind. The hag was so rough on her relatives. And that's why he was extra nice to me. When we talked yesterday, I was so happy to hear him say he would forgive Shion. He even said he would fight the hag to save her. That made me very happy. Don't worry. If Shion-chan feels bad at what she has done, she won't be demoned away. Leave it to me. I felt such warmth inside of me. I almost shivered. I was so happy, yet so very sad. For he continued to say that Satoshi-kun deserved to die. Said those nice things because he wanted to make Mion happy, since she was worried about Shion. Satoshi-kun deserved to die because he was a member of the cursed Hojo family, but Shion-chan of the Sonozaki family did not. That's what he meant. In other words, to the leaders of the village, including Kimiyoshi, members of the Hojo family are more contemptible than insects. They didn't care if they lived or died. Their sin was not only that they despised the Hojo family, but also that they let their hatred infect the rest of the village. Therefore, everyone in the village deserved to be a victim of the curse of Yashiro-sama. Kimiyoshi and the others created an environment that excused murder in that name. If that was so, if Takano-san and Tomitake-san hadn't committed the serious crime of trespassing in the ritual storehouse, then Satoko Hojo, the last survivor of the Hojo family, and Teppei Hojo, who had been hiding in Okinomiya, might have been the victims. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because, that's what happened in chapter 3, is that Teppei died, and I think, someone disappeared? Everyone died in that chapter, actually. Everyone died. Everyone deserved to be cursed, mirrors the time Keiichi thought the same. Yeah, that happened at the end of chapter 3. So, this blurb here as well is mirroring chapter 3. Okay. It's like, oh, if they didn't do that, then they would be the victims. And then the next chapter, they're the victims. Because they didn't go in the ritual storehouse. Okay. Satoko Hojo. She was always around Satoshi-kun. She expected Satoshi-kun to help her every time she cried. She was one of the people who cornered him. Satoko wasn't that much of a burden. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have killed his aunt. Somebody told Satoshi-kun to commit that murder. and to hide the evidence of his connection to the mastermind, Satoshi-kun was demoned away. That's what Oishi thought. If Satoshi-kun hadn't killed his aunt, maybe he wouldn't have been chosen as last year's victim. Because the commands were vague, after all. The curse of Yashiro-sama fell upon the HEWWO family as a whole. It didn't matter which member of the family died. His aunt had a terrible reputation in that neighborhood. She didn't communicate with her neighbors. She was always throwing fits. There was nothing nice about her in any way. Even if Satoshi-kun didn't kill her, the curse would have fallen upon her sooner or later. Their aunt was the first victim. There needed to be another HEWWO to calm the curse. According to a rumor, their uncle was living somewhere in Okinomiya with his lover. However, Okinomiya was a little different from Hinamizawa. The Sonozaki family was powerful there as well, of course, but it would have been more difficult in Okinomiya to demon someone away. So naturally, Satoshi-kun and Satoko, who were still in Hinamizawa, became the targets. Which one should be cursed? That was simple. Satoko, of course. She was snobby and lacking in manners. Oh my gosh. Shion. Everyone in the neighborhood liked Satoshi-kun. Even if he was the son of the HEWWO couple who betrayed the village during the dam conflict. Compared to Satoko, he didn't deserve to die. Therefore, the actual victims of last year's curse should have been his aunt and Satoko. Satoshi-kun was suddenly all alone. Mean aunt and mean uncle were gone. His sister, who was a burden to him all his life, was gone too. Satoshi-kun was such a nice person. He would be sad, although he'd realize he was finally free. But time would heal him. I'd even help. Oh my god, of course you would. He didn't have to live in his house in Hinamizawa. There were plenty of empty rooms in the apartment block where I lived. I could find him a part-time job too. Dude, she's just fantasizing about what would happen if what she thinks should have happened. Like, none of this matters. This is just for herself. She's so incredibly selfish. Yeah, fanfic. He didn't need to go to school in Hinamizawa. He could go to school with me in Okinomiya instead. He wouldn't know his way around, or really anything about the school there. So I'd meet with Satoshi-kun all the time. I'd show him a shortcut to school, we'd go shopping, I'd teach him many different things. What an unbelievably happy ending. Satoshi-kun had been suffering so much, and I had been pushed away all my life. We would finally be happy. I enjoyed these sweet delusions, but I didn't have any more time to waste. I'm sure there were plenty of old people who had been trying to get a hold of audio all morning, and who were going to try to catch me after I got home from school. Actually, the phone had been ringing constantly while I enjoyed my happy thoughts. When I answered the phone, I casually listened and replied. As I planned, Keiichi Maebara is now known as the next curse victim within the underside of Hinamizawa. I also tried to let them know that the disappearance of the village chief had something to do with the fact that he changed the lock on the ritual storehouse's door. All the authorities in the underside came to realize the seriousness of trespassing in the storehouse. After all, one of the heads of the three families got punished. One of the phone calls was from Oishi. He'd also heard about Kimiyoshi's disappearance, and he knew it was something to do with the changing of the lock. I'm impressed. He has some pretty good sources. But all he can do is catch whatever information he can get. There's no way for him to find out where it's coming from. I'd call Keiichi Maebara again later tonight. Some of the more aggressive villagers may have already started to take action around him. Sure that by now, Keiichi is feeling the danger that's coming toward him. I'd have to be careful that he doesn't get killed easily. If I can catch the enemy before they bit Keiichi, I can use him as bait. Oh my gosh, again? You let this boy suffer so much. Keiichi Maebara. I haven't known him for that long. He's funny, if not intelligent. I'll never replace Satoshi-kun, but I do think he's fun to be around. There's just one thing I don't like about him. He rubs my head far too often. His hand is as warm as Satoshi-kun's hand, which is why I can't stand it. But that's about it. Keiichi Maebara isn't Satoshi-kun's enemy. I don't hate him. He's fun to be around, and I wouldn't shed a tear for him. But I wouldn't shed a tear for him if he became a victim of the curse. I won't prevent Keiichi Maebara from being killed, but I won't kill him myself either. I like how she just talks about killing people so casually. Like, second nature to her. Jeez. Hey, Hey, thank you for the follow. Tubby McCustards. Good name, good name. She's killed one? I know. It's like, she must have been thinking about killing people for a long time. Maybe when she was in that private school, she's just constantly thinking about murdering everyone around her. Who knows? The first one's always, yeah, it's a slippery slope. When you kill your first person, you're basically gonna kill, like, 10 more. My gosh. I made arrangements for the curse to fall upon him, but I never told anyone to kill him. You play VR? No, nah, not very often, no. We've all been there, haha, yeah. Yeah, you can think whatever you want as long as you don't actually do anything, right? I made arrangements for the curse to fall upon him, but I never told anyone to kill him. Well, I suppose I did tell Rika Furude to take care of Keiichi Maebara. Wait a minute. To avenge Satoshi-kun, I'm doing exactly the same thing as the hag did. I'm using the exact same system that killed Satoshi-kun. Keiichi Maebara. I'm just using him. I told people to let the curse fall upon Keiichi, but I've been giving him appropriate warnings. I'm going to help him if he tries to live. If I catch all of my enemies. Maybe I'll let him loose. He's different from Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun was tricked into killing his aunt, and was killed himself afterwards, so there wouldn't be any evidence remaining. I won't kill Keiichi Maebara. That's how I'm different from the hag. I'll use him and torture him, but I won't kill him, so I'm different. I'm not like other girls. I'm not like other hags. What? What now? Huh? Evening was turning into night. I had to get dinner ready. I had to eat so I'd have enough strength to take revenge. She's convinced Satoshi got tricked into committing murder, which removes the blame from him. Yeah, that's true. But, like, even if Satoshi meant to kill his aunt, which is a possibility as well, I don't think she'd care at all. Like, she'd be, oh, she deserved it, so it's okay. You know? The justification. Everything she thinks is justified in one way or another, you know? I guess, as with everyone. Everyone thinks they're justified, usually. This place was far from the town. It would even get isolated during winter because of the snow. It's not unusual for a household like this to have 2 or 3 refrigerators. There were plenty of groceries left in them. Where are we? I was glad I didn't have to go grocery shopping. I could hear the chorus of the Higurashi. Oh, this is still in our house, but it's like the big house. People often say that the sound of the Higurashi brings back memories. But for me, it's the exact opposite. I've only ever heard the sound of the Higurashi in Hinamizawa. Therefore, the sound of the Higurashi, to me, is Hinamizawa. The sound reminded me that I wasn't supposed to be here, that I couldn't be here. That was when I heard the doorbell. Because there was a good distance between the house and the gate, there was both a doorbell and an intercom by the ladder. It is a security camera, too. Something as modern as the security camera monitor in this old-fashioned kitchen looked rather strange. Especially back then, in like 1970s, having a security camera intercom system, like, that's rich people. Turned the switch, but nothing appeared on the monitor. Tried to check the plug, but there were a bunch of cords going behind the refrigerator, so I couldn't even do that. The doorbell continued to ring while he tried to figure out if the monitor was broken, or if I just didn't know how to turn it on. I only felt like answering the door depending on who it was. I'd normally be easiest to pretend to be out, but that wouldn't help me. I was waiting for my enemies to show up. Couldn't just hide myself in that case. The hag was supposed to be sick and in an extremely bad mood. I already sent word out that she didn't want to see anyone. So who could it be? I made up my mind and turned the intercom on. If it was someone unwanted, I could just turn whoever it was away. But I had to act normally so I wouldn't arouse suspicion. I had to act normally. Yes? Who is it? Hello? She didn't tell me her name, but I recognized her voice. Rika? Rika-chan. What are you doing here? At this time of day?
I ran out of soy sauce, so could you share some with me?
Soy sauce? I almost screamed. but I controlled myself. Soy sauce! That's what, yeah. Took a moment to think about the situation. Neighbors was far from most stores, so sometimes neighbors would share seasoning and stuff with each other. The village sometimes got snowed in during winter, but the Furude shrine was quite far from this house. It's rather odd for her to come all the way here on her bicycle just to get some soy sauce. Maybe she was using it as an excuse. Maybe there was something she wanted to talk to me about. Wait. Was it? Oh. In chapter 2, Rika and Satoko went missing. And the whole thing of why they went missing was because Rika went over to Mion's house for soy sauce. Do you remember? Do you remember? I remember this exact thing happened, and Rika and Satoko disappeared. I remember Rena being like a super detective figuring all this out when Rena went over to their house because they were gone. And then this just makes Mion look even more suspicious from Keiichi's perspective. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Is this your first time going through? Is this a replay? Oh no, this is my first time going through everything, so no spoilies. Mion better not. Mion is freaking... she's kidnapped. She can't do anything. That was when I noticed a piece of paper that was on the refrigerator next... refrigerator door next to the intercom. We still have plenty of homemade soy sauce in the stock. Feel free to come to the Sonozaki house if you want some. I must have given that flyer to everyone. Oh, okay. One of our relatives sent her a barrel of soy sauce. Cat gift. If you want some, bring a container. That's what the flyer said. I see. This would explain it. There was a handwritten note on the bottom of the flyer. Soy sauce is in the storage area under the floor. Give them as much as they want. There's a storage area. Yeah, Nipa. True. We deserve a Nipa because who knows what horrible acts is going to happen to freaking Rika after this. Yeah, we need the cat gifts to lighten the mood, huh? But why are they giving out so much soy sauce? Do they have a freaking like a soy sauce infinite generator under the floorboards? When I opened it, I saw a barrel of soy sauce alongside a funnel and a ladle. I didn't want Rika to notice anything suspicious at this point. I decided to share the soy sauce with her. Sure. Did you bring a container?
I brought a soy sauce bottle.
Okay, come on in. I'll be at the front door. As I headed there, I heard the doorbell ring again.
The gate is locked from the inside. I can't open it.
Ah, that's right. Sorry. I'll be right there. Just hang on. People didn't pay much attention to safety around here in Himizawa. People didn't think too much about locking the doors. As someone who's lived in a town, I've always locked everything. To let Rika Furude in, I'd have to go outside.
Good evening.
Good evening. How awkward is this? That earlier today, Shion was freaking threatening her and like holding her by the collar and freaking slapped, like, oh, how awkward. Rika smiled at me. She was holding a huge soy sauce bottle. She acted like I never yelled at her, got violent with her, or made her cry at all today. Perhaps she came here to curry flavor, thinking that she angered me. I invited Rika to the front door. I told her to wait for a moment and tried to take the bottle. Rika took her shoes off and walked into the house with the bottle in her hands. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. Why don't you just wait there?
I'm pretty good at pouring soy sauce into a funnel, you know?
She looked at me as if begging. I guess she wanted to pour the soy sauce into the bottle herself. I didn't want her to come into the house, but I suppose I didn't want her to wait there all alone either. She came to the kitchen with me. I could keep my eyes on her. Chapter 3 is when Rika died at the shrine. And she was like, dead. And Satoko thought that Keiichi killed her. That's chapter 3. It's not this one. This is the one where she goes missing. Probably. Right? She came into the kitchen with me. I could keep my eyes on her. And so, I brought Rika to the kitchen. We walked down the hallway. I only heard my footsteps. Stopped suddenly and turned around to make sure Rika was following me. Rika bumped into me.
Meep.
Sorry. I made sure she was right behind me and started to walk again. Tap, tap, tap. Tip, tip, tip. Tap, tap. Tip, tip. Yeah, footstep noises. Rika must have been having fun matching her footsteps to mine. When I quickly sped up, our footsteps matched perfectly. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tip, tip. Tip, tip. Tap, tap, tap. I stopped suddenly. Tip, tip, tip. Tip. Rika stopped suddenly too, after taking an extra step. Wait. Extra step? The whole thing of Oyashiro-sama and the extra step. What do you think? Okay. When I turned around, Rika smiled at me. Footsteps matched perfectly. When I stopped suddenly, I heard her extra step. I've experienced such footsteps before. It was making me feel uncomfortable. But now, although her footsteps sounded the same as the other ones I'd experienced, I saw her when I turned around. That was the difference between them. I left the storage door open so we could see the soy sauce barrel. The memo said she can take as much as she wants, but I wasn't sure there was enough left. I crouched down and tried to open the lid of the soy sauce barrel. When I crouched down, I could hear Rika's extra footstep. Good, there's plenty left. Take as much as you want. When I turned around, Rika was very close to me. But... Who is this? I saw Rika, but it wasn't Rika at all. It was like when I switched with my sister. The outside was the same, but the inside was different. Did Rika have a twin sister? I was confused for a moment. So when Rika sprayed something from a small bottle into my eyes. Oh my god. Huh? I felt terrible pain in my eyes. Suddenly tears poured out, and my nose started to run. Set to go in blue wig? No. Straight up pepper sprayed. I couldn't stop sneezing either. So I stumbled around, covering my face. I then realized I was attacked. I shut my eyes tightly for a moment, and then opened them again. Rika was about to grab my hair to drag me onto the floor. When Rika saw me open my eyes, she sprayed at me again. Oh my god! I shut my eyes to avoid the spray, but my nose still breathed in the substance. I avoided the pain in my eyes, but the tears, the runny nose, and the sneezing continued. Shit! Ah! My brain isn't working quickly enough. However, when I finally understood that I had been attacked by Rika Furude, my brain started to grind in emotion. Rika Furude knocked me on my back and got on top of me. I tried to escape from her by rolling onto the kitchen floor. As I rolled, I hit an oven, a huge jar, and destroyed a pile of something on the floor as I fought back. But Rika didn't let go of me. She stayed on top and restrained me. She was sitting on my stomach, and I felt intense pain and pressure. She sure could fight well. Still couldn't see anything. Rika had the upper hand, my eyes were shut, and I was in real danger. As I tried to blink, I saw Rika's expression. I didn't know Rika Furude all that well. I only knew her from the few times when we... Thank you. My dad said that there's food ready. I'll get some after. I only knew her from the few times we met when I went to school as Mion, and from the things I've heard from other people. I feel bad, this is like a free bedtime story. This is a pretty brutal bedtime story then. You can go to sleep listening to murder, or like, not terrorism, just like, horrible, horrible happenings. As far as I knew, there was no way Rika Furude would ever do something like this. This is just impossible. 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 No, I can't fill my head with that word. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Oh my god, the word impossible. Flashbacks, chapter 3, Keiichi, saying that it was impossible, and they hyper-focus on that word. About how it was impossible. Oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? I have to calm down and figure out what to do next. Shit. Too much of a mess to even think. Man, I don't remember anything. Chapter 3 was insane, so I remember that the most. But I also did a quick review of the VODs. So I like you know? I just skipped around and picked up some, tried to remember what happened. I'm too much of a mess to even think. Tried to peek at her face again. She still had the spray bottle in one hand. What I didn't expect was the thing in her other hand. Could I mistake it for anything else? It was definitely a syringe. What? What? Does Rika have another personality? I mean, everyone in freaking Hinamizawa has another personality, it seems like. Freaking Rena, freaking Mion, freaking... Not Shion, though. I don't think she has another personality. They get overtaken with Oyashiro-sama. When Rika realized I regained my eyesight, she pointed the spray bottle right at me and let loose with it. Syringe filled with soy. Yeah, sure. That's definitely what it is. I shut my eyes tightly and tried to ignore the pain. That was when, even though I was blinded, Rika made a miscalculation. She had sprayed at me from such a close distance. She inhaled the substance as well. Heard Rika sneeze, and realized it was my chance. Even if I couldn't see, I knew she was right there. I hit Rika's face a few times. When I felt Rika's weight shift, I escaped. I then got my stun gun ready. Rika must have inhaled just a little bit of the spray. She wasn't sneezing anymore, and was glaring at me instead. Hey, are you picking a fight with me? You want me to wreck you? Rika's expression didn't change, but I was sure she was disappointed that her surprise attack was a failure. Rika flinched just a little, but she was still holding the spray bottle and aiming it at my eyes. She was trying to use the spray first, and then give me the shot. I didn't know what was in that syringe, but it was a clear liquid. It had to be something bad. She wanted to take my eyesight, get on top of me, and then give me the shot. If whatever was in the syringe took a while to take effect, I might have the chance to fight back, and seriously injure Rika. But Rika's surprise attack told me that just being injected was more than enough. Oh god. It's probably the thing that makes you, like, claw your throat out or something, which means she basically killed, the guy I can't remember the name of right now. Christmas jingles make me think Santa Claus is attacking me. No, this is ritual jingles, not Christmas jingles. Very different. This is what happens if you're on the naughty list. Yeah, no coal, just torture. In other words, whatever the effect, it would start to work immediately. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to fight back against her. Probably either knock me out or kill me. In any case, what I had was equally deadly. My stun gun was very powerful. Just one shot would be all it took. What happened before was proof of its power. Rika knew my stun gun was a lot more powerful than her spray. She was being extremely cautious. Hey, what do you think you're doing in my house, huh? If you aren't moving, then I'll come to you. I threw a pile of newspapers at her. The pile wasn't tied together, so the newspapers flew all over Rika. I jumped at her immediately after. I shoved my stun gun into her and pulled the trigger. Rika spasmed and fell to the floor. You fool. Hesitating in a fight where the single blow wins? Only amateurs just glare at each other. You don't have a single clue about how advantageous the first strike is when a single blow can decide everything. The spray bottle rolled onto the ground. She still had the syringe. Rika was down, but I couldn't let my guard down either. What do you mean no? I'm actually on Shion's side here. Because, like, Rika's doing bad. Like, I don't even know if this is Rika, like, mentally. I think she gets taken over with Oyashiro-sama or something. Because technically she, is, like, the reincarnation. So, Rika's just a little meow meow. Shut up. Do you see what she's doing? Do you see what she did? She freaking surprise attacked her on purpose and is gonna, like, inject her with some junk. Like, come on. Or maybe it's like a Keiichi scenario in chapter 1 where he thought it was a syringe, but it wasn't. But I don't think that's what it is. It has to be real. I kicked her in the side and clambered on top of her. Took the syringe, held Rika's arm down, and gave her the shot. My actions could hardly be called gentle. I injected her violently. I injected everything that was in that syringe. Rika began to convulse. I stood back and watched for what would happen to her body. Of course, I still had my guard up. While I assumed that the drug would incapacitate her immediately, I didn't know exactly what kind of reaction she would have. Look at you! Did you really think you could defeat me? Think again! After a few more convulsions, Rika unsteadily got to her feet. That's ridiculous. How could she even stand? I looked at my stun gun. Damn it! The power's on the lowest setting. Maybe it had just been readjusted when we were rolling around on the floor. I changed the setting to maximum. Do you really think you could defeat me? Yeah, that is pretty stereotypical, isn't it? Rika turned pale and started sweating all over. I didn't know its exact effects, but if Rika had given me the shot, I'd be the one experiencing her symptoms. She looked really sick, so obviously she must have been feeling awful too. She couldn't even focus. She was very wobbly and had her hand on the wall. She lost her balance. It must have been hard for her to even stand. Oh god, I remember. I remember what's about to happen in the anime because it was so insane. Alright. I try to let you guys know whenever I know something's gonna happen, so you know, like, what I don't know, basically, you know? She didn't look so brave anymore. Rika wobbled some more and moaned as if she was about to throw up. Hanyu. Freaking dying, Jesus. Rika looked scary as she moaned and wobbled, but at the same time, she looked kind of funny too. Certainly, she hadn't even dreamed she'd be getting the shot herself. As the man sows, so shall he reap. That's what you get. That's amazing! As the man sows, so shall he reap. That's what you get. Oh my god. Frick around and find out, basically. This is funny. So funny. But please don't throw up here. Go to the bathroom, okay? I'm gonna enjoy how long it'll take for you to die. Oh, but that means I can't torture you later, huh? I've been planning to use the nail table on you. So either you choke on your own vomit and die, or I pound nails into all 10 of your fingers. I wonder which it will be. Okay, I know. Let's move to the underground shrine storage. I'll put you to sleep so I can move you there, okay? Walked up to Rika, her stun gun making popping sounds. Rika saw the sparks from the stun gun. She moved to grab a huge kitchen knife. Oh, are you still trying to fight? That makes things more fun. I have so much I want to ask you. I would suggest you back down. Well, actually, even if you do, you'll go through the same misery anyway.
Sorry, but I'll refuse that invitation, you torture maniac.
What she said wasn't anything I'd expect to hear from a Rika I knew. But I didn't hesitate. I had the advantage, so I didn't need to worry. Besides, this was coming from the last survivor of the Furude family, one of the 3 families. That sudden change was somehow felt natural. Compared to what the 3 families have done, this is nothing. Thank you for that high praise, though. I should be proud of myself, huh? So? Are you seriously thinking about fighting me with a knife in that condition? You can't even stand straight.
You're right. Like you said, I'm at my limit. But that means getting captured and tortured to death by you. And sorry, I'm taking my leave.
Taking your leave? Try if you can. It was clear who held the advantage here. But despite that, an odd thrill filled both of us. We lost our minds wasn't a fitting phrase for the people of Hinamizawa. It was a feeling of release, when modern demons could stop pretending to be human. Yes, this was a mad banquet of demons, the savoring of blood and devouring of flesh. Tended by the head of the Furude family and the head of the Sonozaki family, the old families whose blood is closest to the madness of the demons. I stood in front of the hallway so as to block her escape route. The windows had grates and the door had a safety chain on it. She turned around. I hit her with my stun gun. In this situation, what did Rika Furude mean by taking her leave? Mia got her knife ready. I expected her to aim at my stomach when she attacked, so I took a stance with my stun gun ready in my hand. Rika, however, suddenly turned around. Carefully watched to see what her next move would be. Rika put the handle of the knife to the wall and held it in place. What was she doing?
Goodbye, torture maniac. I won't give you the satisfaction of killing me.
Rika reared her head back and slammed her throat against the knife on the wall. My God. Her blood splattered all over. Rika bent backwards repeatedly and let the knife slash at her throat. Again and again. Her neck and chest were dyed red. I'd always thought blood was darker. But her blood wasn't dark. It was so bright. I must have been confused, but it looked pretty. After doing this several times, Rika turned around. Her eyes were wide open. She didn't look like she was from this world. Her face looked like something both living and dead, both real and artificial. It was very scary, eerie, and above all else, pale. What do they call it, the answer arc, when I keep asking more questions? Well, there's 3 more after this, so this is just the first answer arc. Things don't get answered here, they'll be answered in the next ones, I think. Although her face looked unearthly, it was a very appropriate face for a demon. I didn't have a mirror, so I couldn't tell, but I was sure I looked exactly like her. Rika continued to violently slash her throat. It reminded me of someone trying to break a huge piece of ice with an ice pick. It's exactly what Rika looked like. White chips of ice coolly flying through the air. What I saw before me was a beautiful sight. Every time Rika struck her throat, tiny drops of red blood splattered the boring white world around her. It was like a dance. Dedication dance by the final head of the Furude family. Demon's last chance of dedication to Oyashiro-sama. Upon seeing that literally blood-curdling dance, I let out a fierce roar. I had no reason to do so. I was howling like an animal. We were like animals trying to kill each other, both getting covered in blood. And, inevitably, as one convulsed in a pool of that blood, the other threw back its head and howled. My body shivered with the joy I felt inside of me. This was death, the most final of judgments, and it was right before me. The demons howled, screamed, and roared. The roars faded, and my voice started to change from the voice of a demon back to that of a human. As a demon, I roared, but as a human, I sneered. Rika was covered in blood from her neck down. Her blood was pouring out, making a little noise. Rika was still staring into my eyes. I stared back at her. I wasn't sure they were still eyes, though. They were no longer human eyes, but the eyes of the dead. Rika? No. Rika's corpse vomited blood from her mouth and nose and smiled. Then she dropped the knife. She stuck her hands out, turned her palms upward. Her wrinkly fingers reminded me of insects' legs. Those fingers reached for her own throat. Never seen anything like it. I'd never seen anybody do this before. Because Rika was scratching at her own throat. She was ripping her own throat apart. Maybe that wasn't a good description. She was trying to rip out the inside of her throat through the opening she made with the knife. Oh, that is so gross. Her fingers found the biggest tear. Rika smiled. At least that's what I would have called it if she were alive. She ripped open the tear with one tug. What? What? Upon hearing my scream, Rika died, fell on her face, into the pool of blood. That was it. She didn't get up again to show me her throat. I stepped back from Rika Furude's body and bumped into the wall in the hallway. Rah! I roared again in admiration of the ritual dance of dedication of the head of the Furude family. Joy ran through my body, my blood rushed through my veins. I won! I won! I defeated her! Rah! Then I realized I disposed of the heads of the 3 families, the core of the curse of Yashiro-sama. Everything was finally exposed. The curse of Yashiro-sama, its masterminds, were all exposed. I disposed of the leaders of the 3 families, who all killed Satoshi-kun. The head of the Sonozaki family died of a heart attack. She was at the bottom of the well, along with a wheelchair. I apprehended the head of the Kimiyoshi family. He continued to tiptoe until he died. The head of the Furude family died, in a way that was perfect for the final head of the three families of Onikafuchi. I did it. I accomplished my mission. I defeated all the masterminds who killed Satoshi-kun with the curse. Every one. Satoshi-kun, you were powerless. You didn't have the means to fight back. Those evil people simply sneered at you. Those evil people simply sneered while they let you die, after marking you as a member of the cursed Hojo family. I will never, ever forgive them. They believed you deserved to die because you were one of the Hojos. As long as it was done by the curse of Yashiro-sama, they didn't care how you were killed. I will never forgive those people for creating this world. Jesus Christ. Everything is fixed and good now. Yeah, don't look at the 5 achievements that we don't have left. Oh my gosh. That's some loud swamp background noises. I don't know if it's swamp noises. It's just static. And jingles and spooky noises. What could I have done to save you, Satoshi-kun? I couldn't save you. Shion Sonozaki couldn't do anything else at the time. That was Mion, not Shion. That was Mion that day. Could have saved you. Mion could have saved you. That's right. I remember now. Shion. She said she wanted to eat the red snapper sashimi that day. I was supposed to eat that, but Shion pouted and cried. That's why I let her switch, just for that night. What? Huh? I did that to make her happy, like a big sister would. Shion was never treated well, so I felt bad. That was it. Wait, what? What? Shion was never treated well, so she switched. But aren't we Shion right now? What? I was being a good sister. That was it. When morning came, the world had been turned upside down. It had remained so until today. We weren't twins anymore. The one with the demon was Mion, and the one without the demon was Shion. What was that supposed to mean? Wait, Mom, listen. I'm Mion, not her. You can tell us apart, right, Mom? Look, can't you tell I'm Mion? Come on, everyone tell me I'm Mion. I'm Mion. Don't call me Shion. I'm Mion, I am. Then I realized, you knew, didn't you? The relatives weren't gathering for a simple party that night. You knew. Who is she talking to? Kimiyoshi? No, I didn't. I really didn't know. Huh? How can you say that? You were so persistent that day. So you'd never eaten red snapper before, so you really wanted to try it. Okay, she's talking to Mion. Right? Okay. You never gave up asking me. I really didn't know. I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have said that. Oh, sure. You were always jealous of me. That was why I switched with you every once in a while. But you weren't satisfied with just that. You became even more jealous. And that night, you knew what was going on and took Mion from me. You took Mion from me. Give Mion back. I'm the one who's Mion. I am Mion Sonozaki. Twins switched places years ago and never switched back. That's what I'm thinking. That has to be what this is. You were Shion this whole time. Don't call yourself Mion, you imposter. Kicked the bars of the cell repeatedly while I roared. Compared to my roar, the metallic noise of the bar sounded like the cry of a little puppy. I had been convinced by something so stupid. The tattoo of the demon was just a way of telling us apart. Even without that tattoo, I am Mion. That's right. I am Mion Sonozaki. But she doesn't have the tattoo. She doesn't have the tattoo. How is she Mion? She's not. Mion was the successor. Mion was the one with the tattoo. That's not her. I think she wants to be Mion. And she's like convinced herself that she is Mion because she wants to be. Yeah, she's not actually. Gathered my hair and put in a ponytail with a yellow band that Mion used all the time. So I didn't feel my hair on my neck. Felt like I could think more clearly now. Two Mions looked at each other through the iron bars. According to our sibling rules, that was never to happen. Yes, there's only one Mion and one Shion. There can never be two of either at the same time. Shion, let your hair down. I am Mion, and Mion is here. You were never Mion. So don't pretend to be me ever again, do you hear? I said, do you hear? If you do, answer me. Answer me, Shion. Took myself back on this day. Shion admitted she was Shion. How wonderful it is to be Mion. I feel great. I can think clearly now. Because after all, Mion is capable of everything, of anything. Unlike you, Shion. I think she is. Their character isn't denying that the switch happened. No, Mion's... the other one is just scared of her. So she's going to accept whatever she says as, like, the truth. And just say what she wants to hear. But Shion wants to be Mion, so she is saying that as a fact. But I believe she is still born Shion. But Shion was always treated badly. Shion was always, like, put aside compared to Mion. So she's just gone actually insane, convinced herself that she is Mion, you know, as like a way to cope. She's coping. Jesus Christ. How dare you pretend to be Mion? Do you have any idea? Huh, Shion? Yes, sis. Shion called me sis. And so, I was Mion. Ah! See? Like, she's looking for proof that she is Mion, even if she's not. Because, at the end of the day, what does it mean to be Mion or Shion? Does it mean that Mion has the name of Mion? Or is Mion just the one with the tattoo? You know? Was Shio the one born with the tattoo? No. It's been repeated over and over again that Shion, like, whoever has the gun is Mion. Yeah, that's true. But the gun never even comes into play, so the gun's freaking pointless, basically. The demon who had been asleep inside of me was finally allowed to wake up. The demon roared. My whole body shivered to express its joy. Shion, you committed a great sin. You were Mion until now. You were in a powerful position as a Mion of Sonozaki family, yet you didn't even try to rescue Satoshi-kun. You had millions of chances to save him, but you chose not to do anything. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. I could have saved Satoshi-kun. You took him from me, and you killed him. I'll never forgive you for that. Shion was shaking on the other side of the bars. Oh my gosh, I love how they just forced a switch, basically. I'll kill you. I'll kill you in the best way possible. Best possible way. Starting today, I'm going to think of the best, most gruesome way to kill you. Shion, you'd better spend every minute fearing what's coming to you. I won't just kill you. I'll make sure your death is long and miserable. And after you're dead, I'll throw you into the well. You better apologize to Satoshi-kun when you get there. This is what you get for pretending to be me. Do you hear me? That's your sin. I can't yell because people are in the house. Jesus Christ. I needed to at least clean up in the kitchen. Jesus. So she just, after all that happened, she just broke. After Rika died, she just broke. Because she's looking for... She keeps going into her own head and thinking of Satoshi. Whether it be thinking of other realities, thinking of what could have happened if she was Mion. That's how it started. Like, if I was Mion, this wouldn't have happened. And so, because, like, you know, Mion is the quote-unquote better one. more powerful one, whatever. She just snapped. Like, she actually snapped. She snapped like 3 different times, and each time she snaps, she gets like even more into the abyss. While I was putting the old newspapers on the floor to absorb the blood, the phone rang. I didn't want to answer, but maybe I should. Should answer it and talk to whoever it was. This isn't even her final form. Yeah, she'll snap a final time somehow. Somehow. Hello, this is Sonozaki Residence. Thank you for answering. This is HEWWO calling. Oh, I was surprised to hear the HEWWO name, but I realized right away that it was Satoko. Oh, what's the matter, Satoko?
Sorry to call so late. Is Rika not there with you?
Oh god. This is why Rika and Satoko disappeared. She's gonna be like, oh, Satoko, come over! Come over, Rika's still here. We're just hanging out. You should come over. And then Satoko comes over. Yes. Ever since Satoko Hojo was abandoned, she had been living with Rika Furude. Of course, she'd get suspicious that Rika hadn't returned yet. Yeah, she's here.
Oh, she's still there? It's long past dinner time.
It lured with free soy sauce, I know. Hey, Satoko. I made too much dinner tonight, so I told Rika-chan to eat here with me.
Eh? Is that so? Oh.
Why don't you come over too? Oh my god! This dialogue with this music, knowing what this implies. Oh my god. I have plenty of food left. Rika-chan has already started eating.
Oh, Rika. Alright, I'll clean up a little and then head out. See you shortly.
Okay, I'll be here. See ya. Click. Oh, God. She's so messed up. She's so messed up. She's absolutely so messed up. Freaking horror music playing. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. Oh. Keiichi, I've been calling your name for a while. You have a phone call. It's from Sonozaki-san. Sonozaki-san? Which one? The older sister or the younger one? I don't know. Ask her yourself. Hello? Mion? Or is it Shion? It's me. Shion. Good evening. Shion! Sorry about last night. I got all riled up. Just been worried about how I hung up the phone so suddenly last night. We're tied to the same fate. Making sure the other is alright is the only way to guarantee our own safety. Yeah, I agree. We absolutely need to share whatever information we have, so that we don't die, like Takano-san and Tomitaki-san did. Shion thinking she's Mion, pretending to be Shion. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Gulp. Heard Keiichi swallow loudly. Then, let's continue from where we left off. You'll listen without getting angry this time, right? Yeah. I'll be fine. Keiichi agreed to be quiet and listen. Explain the dangerous situation Keiichi was in once again. Just like how some evil people in the village attacked Takano-san and Tomitaki-san, they might attack us this any day. It was ironic, of course, that while I was warning him, I was also the one who made sure the curse would fall upon him. Let's report anything we notice that seems strange. If we connect all these tiny pieces that we have, then just maybe we'll find out who killed them. Or maybe even the truth behind the incidents over the past few years. You're right. You're right about that. Then I'll start, since I suggested it. I feel like somebody has been watching me lately. What? I was making this up. I just wanted him to realize how urgent the situation was. Might be my imagination, but I'll tell you anyway. I think it's just me, but I feel like if you feel like you're being watched too, Kei-chan, then maybe it's just not in my head. It's not just in my head. Well, don't worry. At the very least, everything's fine with me. It seemed like nothing had happened to Keiichi today, at least. Now that the heads of all three families were gone, it's possible the curse system had been destroyed entirely. If that was the case, then Keiichi might not be attacked after all. But if there was someone who did want to attack him, it meant part of the system was still alive. In other words, my mission wouldn't be accomplished just yet. Keiichi is like a litmus test in this situation. Litmus? What? I've never heard of that. Litmus? Or litmus? I know whether or not all my enemies were gone depending on if Keiichi got bitten. Ligma test? Shut up. He sure is a very useful man. After that, I went along with what Keiichi said. Made sure he was fearful of Mion, as well as all of the three families. Explained to him the possibility that the whole village was involved, that the curse of Yashiro-sama might be some sort of system. But I remembered Shion wouldn't know too much about the disappearance of the mayor, so I continued. Just heard this myself. Is it true that Uncle Kimiyoshi went missing? You mean the mayor? Wait, Shion, you haven't heard? I don't know anything. I just overheard my father talking about it on the phone again. Yeah, actually last night, after the meeting, he didn't come home, so the whole village was in a panic. They searched all over Hinamizawa, but if they found him, then I haven't heard. The police should be searching for him as well. Well, why didn't you tell me something like that important right away? Sorry, I thought you already knew. I didn't want to hide it or anything. Kei-chan, what should I do? What's wrong? Tell me. We're not keeping secrets from each other, right? I'm sorry. Well, I didn't mean to hide it. It's just that, well, the conversation got turned around and we're on the same side, right? I won't get mad, so just tell me. Uncle Kimiyoshi, I told him everything. Old man Kimiyoshi? Someone you feel comfortable confiding in, Shion? Oh, I got him freaking mixed up. Yes, when I was little, he was really nice to me. All I did was play tricks on him, but he would always just smile. He listened to everything I had to say. He was such a kind person. Calm down, Shion. It's not like he's dead, right? Don't lose heart so easily. Keiichi tried to make me feel better. But he had no idea what was actually going on. Really made me laugh. That night, I told the mayor that we snuck into the ritual storehouse. Also that someone saw us and was out to get us. Does the mayor know how absurdly Takano-san and Tomitake-san died? Yes, he knew about it. I told him that they died by Oyashiro-sama's curse, and that I could be made a sacrifice to calm his anger. I just said it straight out. Right. What then? Uncle Kimiyoshi didn't get angry. He smiled, told me that if I was more remorseful about it, there's no way I'd be demoned away. He was really smiling, and he told me to leave it to him. Fake crying. Ah, no. I actually got a little sad while saying that. Kimiyoshi had been so reliable. I was happy when he said that he would protect Shion. I truly was happy. If only he hadn't said anything to insult Satoshi-kun. It's my fault. Because I confessed everything. Stop it, Shion. It's not your fault. No, it is my fault. I told him our secret. Uncle Kimiyoshi found out about everything. So, he had to have been killed. It was right after I confessed to him, after all. He disappeared the same night. And he told me everything was going to be alright. Such a strange feeling. I wasn't upset at all. But as I pretended to be upset and muttered words of prayer for Kimiyoshi's safety, I started to feel that emotion growing inside of me. I was only pretending to be distressed to fool Keiichi. Yet the emotion I feigned began welling up inside of me. I felt like I was being consumed by that emotion. That is so real, though. Like, even in acting and stuff like that, if you fake something long enough, it will become real. Especially with emotion and stuff like that. That's why, like, some crazy stuff happens on, like, horror movie sets, because if people get too consumed into their role, you know, not good at all. Technically, Shion killed Kimiyoshi, and she's Mion now. Shut up! No. So the words coming from my mouth weren't words I intentionally said. They were words that consuming emotion forced me to say. It's like someone else inside of me was doing the talking instead. I was just watching that someone talk from a short distance away. I should never have told him. All this should have only been our fault. Only the four of us. It wasn't something I should have told someone else. He got killed because I told him. He got killed because he knew. He got killed because I confessed to him. Hey, stop. If they were doing that, then they would obviously have killed you before killing the mayor. Doesn't make sense. You or I should have been killed first. Why would other people die before us? It doesn't make sense. They must be planning to kill us last of all. Huh? What? They start by killing those we're close to, and after they've caused us so much pain, then they'll kill us. That must be what they're doing. What I just said scared even me. Killing our loved ones first to harm us emotionally, and only then kill us at the height of our suffering. Whoa. Felt something crawling up my spine. That's awesome! That's an awesome idea! Must not be human anymore. I really am a demon. Human could never think of such cruel things. That would be one incredible hell. Your close friends dying one at a time after being tortured. And after all that, you yourself get killed. What a great way to destroy someone's life. Why was I getting so excited about this? Yeah, just like, huh? Wow, that's a good torture method. I need to keep that in the back of my head. That's what she's thinking right now. Because I could get going with that plan right away. Rika-chan! It's Rika-chan! What? What'd you say just now? Well, truth is, I told her about it. I told Rika-chan. Today. Rika-chan? You mean Rika-chama? The one from the Frude Shrine? Yes, Rika-chan. I felt so scared and uneasy that I did it. I told Rika-chan. When you did, what did she say? The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika-chan said. I'm sorry, Shion. I'm worried about I'm worried about Rika-chan. Oh, I love that whole conversation with Keiichi and the cat and Rika. Alright, if you're that concerned, then don't worry about me. Please go find out whether she's safe. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll call you again tomorrow at the same time. When I do, you'll know I'm still alright. I got it. I'll be waiting. Okay, bye. Sorry. I'm hanging up. Keiichi hung up roughly. He told Rika. He told her. And now she's dead. What a hilarious conversation with Keiichi. Everything is just too damn funny. Keiichi Maebara, go ahead and struggle helplessly. Run all over the village and see if the curse is still alive. Go ahead and see if my enemies are still around. I laughed for a while, then calmed down. I'd already got rid of the bicycles and shoes belonging to Rika and Satoko. Wait, so we just entirely skipped past the killing of Satoko. Okay. My house was, for the moment, taken care of. Could expect Keiichi to run around in a panic, to ask for help from someone, and then ultimately come to Mion. More than likely, the youth group would end up looking for Rika like they did with the mayor. Probably have to endure another long night again, knowing nobody would find her. Decided to wait until the phone rang. Killed time by watching TV until they did. Just casually watching TV after murdering 3 people now. That killing Rika counts. It counts. Kei-chan, are you serious? I'm gonna get really mad if this is a joke. Scolded Keiichi for suspecting that Rika had disappeared.
Mi-chan, if it really is a joke, don't get mad. Smile. It would be a joke after all.
Oh my god.
We need to go make sure whether it's a joke or not.
You're right. Sorry for getting upset. Rena rebuked me. While she looked quiet, I felt that she could be very terrifying under the skin. I had no basis for that impression, but I still felt that way. She didn't like her. I disliked her ever since that rainy day at the bus stop. It wasn't that we didn't get along, though. How should I put it? I was at a loss for how to explain. That was it. Found a good example. When I was little, I always wanted to play tennis. I had my relatives take me to a tennis court, and they all praised my skill. I was doing nothing more than hitting a ball with a racket. They told me I was talented, and that made me happy. When I went to school, I told my classmates I'd played tennis. They told me that I was talented too. Then, one of my classmates, who's usually very quiet, said she also played tennis. Not only did she play, but she took lessons. Although I'd brag about my serve, I was no match for her. Felt lonely and insulted that everyone was paying attention to her and not me. She was usually very quiet, but suddenly, I realized that she knew more and had a lot more experience than me. Run at the bus stop was just like that. I thought of myself as a demon now. That had awakened the part of me that was half human and half demon, the part that lived in Onigafuchi village. In fact, I'd already stepped into a world where normal humans wouldn't go. I had already surpassed my human limits. I generally thought of myself as a superior being, having transcended the realm of mortals. But when my eyes met with with Rena Ryugu's, felt what I did long ago with tennis. Why? Why did I feel that way with Rena? So she's just jealous. No, it's not jealousy, it's inferiority. You know, thinking you're so good and then seeing someone better is like, I guess you could say jealous, but I don't know if I would use that term for it. It's like, oh, I need to bring this person down. I need to beat this person to show how much better I am, you know? But it's also the realization that there is someone better than you. And knowing, like, you're not there yet, you know? It's like very imposing, intimidating type. I'd hear that in the animal world during battle. Animals would glare at each other to display their strength. Only humans have to punch or kick each other to feel superiority or inferiority. Most animals can tell just by glaring at each other. In that case, could it be the same with Rena? Yeah, she feels inferior.
Mii-chan, are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. Haven't slept since yesterday, you know? Sorry. Kichi climbed up a ladder and tried to peek in the window on the second floor, where Rika and Satoko lived. It's my job to hold down the ladder. Rena cautioned me to hold onto it tightly. I remember this part from chapter 2 as well.
Mii-chan, I'm going to check the main house just to be sure, okay? I'll be right back.
Okay. Be careful. Rena ran off after that. When I looked up, I saw Keiichi trying to open a window, but all of them were locked. What did Rena mean by main house? Keiichi asked me from the top of the ladder. It's the Furude family's actual house. After our parents passed away, I think it's been left like that. Right. Rika-chan's parents, they passed away, huh? Satoko's also an orphan. Her parents fell from a cliff because of Yashiro-sama's curse. Then her older brother, Satoshi-kun, he disappeared. Satoshi, I've heard that name before. You heard the name before? Felt anger growing inside of me. Don't you know whose desk you're using every day? You act as if it belongs to you. Drop food on it while eating lunch. You drool on it while taking a nap. Don't you know who it really belongs to? Why am I acting this way? I'm Mion. Satoshi-kun doesn't even exist anymore. He was demoned away. It's hardly Keiichi's fault that he didn't know. It really isn't his fault. Satoko and Rika-chan have been living in this shack ever since. Neither of them has any family, but at least they're together. They help each other out. Didn't Rena say that there was a main house? Wouldn't it be easier to live there? I think she tried at first. She said it was hard, though, because it reminded her of her parents. Shion would flip if she knew he took Takes' bat. He doesn't in this, does he? This was he only did that in the first chapter. I don't think he did that in this one. He also did it in chapter 3 when he was killing the uncle. But not in chapter 2, I don't think. After everyone in Satoko's family died, she started living with Rika. It only made sense. Satoko and Rika were best friends. They didn't care about the Hojo family or the Furude family. They'd been best friends since before the damn conflict. The reason why the curse never fell upon Satoko. Rika Furude probably had a lot to do with it. It made more sense than anything else, at least. Satoko was pardoned from the curse of the Hojo family, all thanks to Rika Furude's arrangements. Satoko had never been a victim on the night of Watanagashi. According to the curse system I'd uncovered, the last survivor of the Hojo family, still living in Hinamizawa, would be the perfect target for this year's curse. Therefore, whoever was responsible for executing the curse must have tried to take her life. However, nothing happened to her, proving that Satoko had escaped from the curse. That was really and truly infuriating. She might have been the head of the Furude family, but I still couldn't accept that such a little girl had enough power to protect her best friend. Mion, no, actually Shion. Shion must have had the same power then. Just like Rika protected Satoko, Shion could have protected Satoshi. Damn it. Damn it. Rika-chan and Satoko-chan, they have it hard, huh? She's cursed. Huh? Mion. What? Did you just say? I said, she's cursed. Mion, why are you making that face? Satoko Hojo. She's been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Can't accept that Satoko was pardoned from the curse, although she was a member of the cursed Hojo family. She was one of the cursed Hojos. Satoshi-kun wasn't pardoned, but Satoko was. She was cursed, but she got away. She escaped the curse, but Satoshi-kun didn't. I can't accept that. In fact, Satoko should have been the one to be cursed the most. She cornered Satoshi-kun physically and emotionally. That's why things got weirder and weirder, and in the end, everything went crazy. When I think back on it, it was Satoko who I hated most of all. She cornered Satoshi-kun. What? Huh? Okay, hold on. This is the first time this has happened. Like, censored? That's a part of it, isn't it? This isn't just censored to be censored. This is actually a part of it. What? Blank, 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 and as a result, Satoshi-kun disappeared. What? Okay. She started it. She caused it. If only she hadn't been there. Just as Rika Furude and Satoko had lived happily, maybe there had been a happy future for me too. Maybe Satoshi-kun and I could have started our lives together in Okinomiya. Yes, if I look at it both the beginning and the end, it's so obvious. Satoko's existence caused everything. Satoshi-kun had to kill his aunt because of Satoko. 3 families used that to create the curse, and then they killed him. The police were convinced he just ran away, but he'd never do that. He was the type of person who always did his best at everything. All by himself. He was doing the very best he could for his only sister, yet he was forced to vanish. Worked so hard for Satoko. Although he was living just for her, he was erased. Poor Satoshi-kun. He was so underappreciated. That girl knew no gratitude. She was cursed. If you got near her, you'd meet the same fate. You'd be cursed to die, or disappear. That really was it. She was the main cause behind it all. She wormed her way into Rika Furude's good graces, and that was why the curse fell upon Satoshi-kun. She should have died first. Then Satoshi-kun would still be alive. If he was alive, I could have done something for him. I can't forgive her. I can't forgive Satoko. I can't forgive that girl. There can be no peace with her. There can be no peace. She was the perfect target for the curse of 1983. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. Rika Furude, the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Rika was dead. Reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama had died. There's no more god in Hinamizawa to deliver the curse. I'm the one who is to deliver it now. I am Mion Sonozaki, the head of the Sonozaki family, one of the 3 families of Onigafuchi. Now that all the heads of the 3 families are gone, dead, there is nobody to surpass me. I'll deliver the curse of Yashiro-sama, and nobody else. I'll deliver it. I am the curse. I have become Oyashiro-sama. Felt hot bubbles boiling over deep inside of me. Like, she's lost it. She's actually lost it. Oh, is she Oyashiro-sama now? She was Shion and then Mion, and now she's just Oyashiro-sama. I could tell the demon inside of me wanted to roar. I noticed Keiji was looking down at me. Calm down, Mion. Like, she calls herself Mion now. You can't tell what you're thinking. Calm down, calm down. At that point, I heard footsteps coming closer. Saw 4 or 5 adults, accompanied by Rena, running toward us, flashing with flashlights in their hands. I have become death, destroyer of worlds. I know. And if you remember what that ladder scene was like from Keiichi's perspective, she said a lot of that out loud. And she just didn't notice. One of them opened the lock on the cabin door, and we all went inside. Of course, there was nobody there. Satsuko and Rika lived alone. I doubted Satsuko would have left a note saying she was going over to the Sonozaki house when Rika was already there. But it wouldn't be fun if she had. Because of that, I hurried into the room ahead of Rena to make sure there was nothing left behind. The rumor of Rika and Satsuko's disappearance spread around the village quickly. More and more villagers gathered at the Furude shrine. Acting in place of the head of the Sonozaki family, commanded them to search the village. Villagers nodded and scattered. How long had it been since the last time I was truly Mion? I felt so pleased that my body almost went numb. Jesus Christ. Lots of villagers went in and out of the shrine. They yelled at each other that she was nowhere to be found. Some suggested other places to look, and they all left. They made a lot of noise with their comings and goings. Members of the Women's Association brought out huge pots and gas cookers from the storage and got ready to cook for the men. That was when I noticed Keiichi unsteadily walking toward cops? I've never heard of that hecking word. Copse of dark pine trees. What was he thinking? How stupid of him to be alone on a night like this. The person responsible for executing the curse was nearby. He wouldn't come back safely. Mion-chan, we went all around Ojaga Lake, but didn't find anything. We tried to light up the pond, but we're going to have to wait until the sun is up. Okay, thanks for your hard work. The women are making some miso soup, so please rest up and have some. Mion-chan, do you know where they usually park their bicycles? No. They probably parked them at the bottom of the stairs leading up here. I don't think they'd come up while carrying them. We can't find their bicycles. Where did they go? If they left on their bikes, they could have gone pretty far. Maybe even as far as the town. In that case, we have to look outside of Hinamizawa. By the way, who first noticed that Rika-chama was gone? It was Kei-chan. Suddenly had a hunch. Oh, that Maebara kid, huh? It's a little suspicious. Speaking of which, why hasn't the Maebara family shown up when we're in a crisis like this? The Maebara still haven't joined the town council, so they're not in the youth group's phone directory. Really? Well, ain't no helping it then. Huh? They joined, didn't they? I think it's just that their name isn't in the directory yet. Last time we updated it was the beginning of the year. They just moved here, so that's why they aren't on it. The Maebara kid's hunch is still suspicious. They do say that the first one seen is the most suspicious. Where did he go? Saw him walking toward the pine trees. Someone go get him? Conveniently, I saw Keiichi and Rena walking back toward us. Kei-chan, where did you go? I was worried you disappeared too. Sorry. Looked like nothing had happened to Keiichi. So, that's fine. Means I took care of all my enemies. Oh my. I knew I smelled something good coming from over here. I'd be much obliged if you'd allow me to have some. Heard the loud, sticky voice of a middle-aged man. It was Oishi. I must be confused about this year's incident. The scale of the curse this time is nothing like the previous ones. Oishi's information network is about equal to or better than that of the elders or on the town council. In other words, could easily uncover the rumor that was circulating through the underside of the village. Most have came here to see if the disappearances of Kimiyoshi and Rika had something to do with the changing of the lock on the ritual storehouse's door. The police will come for me sooner or later. I am Mion Sonozaki, By removing all the heads of the 3 families, my enemies, I've become the head in their place. Can't allow Mion Sonozaki to continue existing. I'll have to destroy the existence of the head of the Sonozaki family. When I destroy my own position, that is when my revenge will come to an end. More than likely, I'll have Oishi witness my final moments. What? So she's planning to die. I don't know how. And she wants Oishi to watch. Okay. My eyes and Oishi's met. Damn it. Thinks I'm suspicious already. You're right, Oishi. I did it. Mion Sonozaki, the head of the Sonozaki family, is the culprit. Well. Yep. Game over. Shion did it. It's Shion. I'm not calling her Mion. She's not. She's just insane. Notebook page 195 and notebook page 196. Oh my gosh. I need to link that ladder scene in this server because seeing it from Keiji's perspective is so wild. Okay, we'll do these last 2 tips and then end it for today. 195. Rika Furude. She was the head of the Furude family. She never even appeared at the most important meetings. Even if she did show up, nobody would ask her for her opinion. It never really mattered if she was there or not. The legend in the Furude family says that if their firstborn child is a girl for 8 generations in a row, that 8th girl would be the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. According to Takano-san's research, Rika Furude is very likely to be the one. Surely, she must be an important icon in the cult of Oyashiro-sama. True believers are devoted to her. So it's quite surprising to me that Rika Furude herself was the assassin. It's unbelievable. It's just too abnormal. Usually a VIP like her wouldn't be the one to assassinate someone. It's possible that it was Rika Furude's look-alike. From the way she moved, she seemed experienced in fighting. It's not normal that a small girl like her would jump me without faltering. I just got lucky because I had a stun gun. Without it, I don't know what would have happened. She was far more skilled than she looked. Was she trained as an assassin? Hello, friends. Whoever is it? Oh, you have a great Friday. You're just getting the tail end of it, though. Shion is actually insane. Like, horribly insane. It is just... She needs help. I think she's past the point of help, actually. She needs firing squad. Like, oh my god. You know? Was she trained as an assassin? Was it a body double? Everything is a mystery, including that creepy syringe. What's going on? Can't understand. She was like an apparition or something. Did Odio Sonozaki know of her existence? What is hiding on the underside of this village? That underside might run much deeper than I thought. Oh, heck! Things are slowly getting revealed. Very slowly. But it's happening. 196. At this point, I believe I can complete my revenge by destroying the curse system entirely. That means I have to eliminate the heads of all the 3 families. The successor, Shion, and the assassins who are after Keiichi. See, now she calls the successor. She calls her Shion and not Mion, even though Mion is the successor. Like, other people called Mion the successor, you know? We can't take what Shion says as fact at this point because she's so out of her own mind. So, taking what other people say, she is Shion, you know? Although Keiichi is completely unguarded, he hasn't been attacked so far. Even though I told everybody that he was one of the trespassers. In fact, it's me who is being attacked. Rika Furude attacked me. According to my theory, Keiichi should make for a very attractive bait. Nobody has done anything to harm him. Since Rika Furude attacked me, it might be that opposing the Furude family is a greater taboo than trespassing the ritual storehouse. Rika Furude had said that the intrusion wasn't a big deal. She sounded like she was going to let Keiichi walk. And after I accused her of that, Rika Furude attacked me that very night. They're 2 different factions? Does one handle trespassers in the ritual storehouse, while the other protects the religious doctrines of the Furude family? No, that doesn't make sense. Mitake-san's death must have been caused by the Furude family's injections. Rika showed me the effect of it herself, clawing her own throat and dying like that. But Tomitake-san shouldn't have been subject to the curse, at least according to the system of the Furude family. I understand why Keiichi hasn't been attacked. Do you have something exempting him from the curse, unlike Takano-san? Just like how only Satoko Hojo was spared. Keiichi's a friend of Rika Furude's, so does that mean if you were close to her, you wouldn't be cursed? Is she more important than the whole system? It's impossible. The hag was at the top of the curse system. Riku couldn't have been higher up than her. Scribble, scribble. But there are multiple ways to determine the subject of the curse. Are there as many curse execution groups as there are subjects? Do they all work separately? Ah, it's a mess. None of my theories add up. If I mess up my reasoning, I might make the wrong person the target of my revenge. I don't understand who the enemy is, or how Satoshi-kun was made to disappear. How much did the hag know? That really was a huge loss. So many things I wanted to ask her. Killed her by accident. Shit. In that respect, I've already failed in my revenge. The underside of Hinamizawa really does run too deep. Scribble, scribble. The whole page is blacked out with scribbles. Jeez. Maybe there was a turns you into Mion chemical in the syringe Rika injected her with. Yeah, okay. The turns you into Mion chemical. That definitely exists. Well, that's it. Crazy, huh? Crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's it for today. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are. And we'll be back next week with more Higurashi. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yep. See you. Bye-bye.